Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who was a quarterback for a long time in the NFL. Long time. Back whenever Starter was the official sponsor of the NFL, then Reebok, then Nike, a man that was brought in to make people around him better. He did that in Tennessee, he did that with the Colts, and now he's doing it at ESPN. Ladies and gentlemen, legendary bald man, Matthew Hasselbeck.
Yeah. What's up, Pat? Hey, by the way, Puma was my jersey with the Seahawks my first year.
Wow.
It was a Puma jersey.
I'm happy I was close. Starter was just like a mock to it. It was like me saying like a MySpace, like you're throwing back. Puma's the same type of thing. Good for you. You've been around a long time in this game.
Yeah, that was the thing. The Seahawks were actually in the AFC West at the time.
Wow.
They came into the AFC West.
Okay, so you've seen the NFL get realigned, reshifted, and remotivated almost. Now you're at ESPN. And to be honest, I think the most crazy thing about you is you sent me 2 PR people's numbers to get you on the show. Excuse me?
I was just trying to compete, man. You know, you got your own entourage. You got, like, the guy who opens the door for you. You got the guy who lies and says you're in the bathroom. Just trying to compete, man.
How is life at ESPN, man?
By the way, I think can we tell people what happened? Like, basically, I called to talk to you. Your guy answers the phone. He goes, "Oh, hold on, he's in the bathroom." As I have on my computer screen, Pat McAfee live doing weigh-in. And I'm watching it as your guy's lying to me. So that's a little background.
You want to know why he might have lied to you? Because let me give a little background on my side. So yesterday I texted my friend Matt Hasselbeck. You guys ever heard of him?
Hey, good guy.
Oh, yeah.
Real good
quarterback.
I was teammates with him. We showered together. He came to my my debut of my stand-up. I mean, really good friends. First guest on my show whenever I was doing a local newspaper show here in Indianapolis. Good friend of mine. I think we sat next to each other a couple times, maybe on some trips. Got along well. Text on a very regular occasion. Good friend of mine. So obviously, Wild Card Weekend, I sent a little texty text.
Yeah, big weekend.
Hey, Bub. You had a great weekend on television. Your brain was good. Anyway, you could be a guest on my show on the podcast on Tuesday. He goes, per contract, I can't say yes. Here's 2 people that you can get on board with. That's what you did, right, Matt?
I think you're embellishing just a little bit. You're not really embellishing. You're leaving out something, okay? What happened was I made a pro punter/kicker tweet, and I feel like it popped in your mind late on Sunday night. You're like, I like that tweet. I'm going to add this guy to my already stacked guest list. That's kind of how I felt about it.
Oh, my God. Let me read what I had to do with this, the PR person from ESPN. Hi, Allie. Her name's Allie. My name's Pat McAfee. Mr. Hasselbeck, I said. This is somebody from ESPN trying to get my friend, by the way, on the show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good guy.
I apologize for your interruption on this beautiful Sunday. I was wondering if Matthew could come on my podcast this week. Would love to chat with him about luck in the NFL playoffs. He and I were teammates together. Would only want him to look good in this conversation, right? I would only want you to look good because he's an incredible human. Let me know if this is possible, and thank you for your time. She responds with, thanks for your text. When? So I tell her Monday afternoon, show comes out on Tuesday. Oh, she says. I've got several requests for Matt right now. So if there are any other date options, will you let me know?
Wow.
I go, no other date options. Oh, we'll try to fit you in there. We'll try to fit you in Matt's schedule.
We'll try.
We'll try to fit you in that schedule there. We'll try to. Matthew Hasselbeck's schedule is
Pat,
so packed. We'll try to fit you in.
This is just like when, like, a girl asks you out on a date, you know, or you ask a girl out on a date, you know, like, hey, how about Friday? Like, I don't know, I'm kind of busy. Maybe next Saturday. Building up the anticipation, man. It's a little hard to get. It's all right. Still love.
No,
all good.
I can spin this in 2 different directions, all on how I tell that story there. The way I chose to do it was to make you look like a terrible friend. But the way I could have done it is you have become a very big deal in football media, man. Everybody's seeking your opinion on things. You got a lot of requests in the media things. On ESPN, you do very well. The show is good. How are you enjoying becoming a voice of the NFL?
You know what? It is fun. I was nervous that, you know, leaving 18 years in the NFL, I'd be like, hey, I'd miss the team, miss the camaraderie, miss the locker room. But I feel like I have that on the shows that I'm on. You know, Sunday morning, it's Randy Moss, Charles Woodson, Rex Ryan, Sam Ponder, Adam Schefter. Monday Night Football, we add Steve Young, Susie Colbert. And, you know, so I get that team flavor, I guess. And then obviously the people behind the scenes, we've got people that help us with stats, people that help us with producing and directing. So it's very much a team thing, and I get to go on the road. Like this past week, I was at the Colts-Texans game, got to see a lot of old teammates, coaches. So I feel like I'm still in the game, which I like a lot.
Well, and there's no chance of you getting blown up, like getting crushed, too. That's got to feel pretty good on the body. Now you're just doing little mental workouts.
Yeah, no doubt. You go down to Houston and you're saying hello to J.J. Watt and Clowney and Merciless. It's a whole different deal. Last time I saw those guys, I took a helmet to the chin and was drinking Jamba Juice for 2 weeks. So, much better now.
Speaking of being at the Texans-Colts game, this Colts team is hot. And I think even everybody always says, like the Giants, the year that Coughlin was almost fired and then they went on to win the Super Bowl with the Patriots. It doesn't matter what team is hot all the season. It matters who's hot in the playoffs. This Colts team feels like a very hot team. You had a one-on-one with Luck. You got to be in the facility. What's going on with that Colts team? You feel good about us?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, even this weekend, the Colts were better than just about every team that played this weekend statistically. More first downs, more rushing first downs, more total yards, more rushing yards, which is like 200. Didn't give up a sack. Had only 2 penalties, basically 10 yards of penalties for the entire game. Defense had a shutout for 3 quarters, really gave up 7 points the whole day. So I think it's a complete team. We talk a lot about Andrew Luck coming back, but there's other guys on that team and coaches, first-time coaches at coordinator positions that are doing a heck of a job. And then, oh, by the way, Andrew Luck is back. So I think, quite honestly, the Colts are probably the most complete team that you don't know about, and really could surprise people even this weekend against a hot, really hot, explosive Kansas City Chiefs team.
So you kind of rode the fence there at the end. You went on quite a run, and then you said, but also hot.
Well,
and explosive.
here's the reason why. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs have the MVP at quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is doing things that other people aren't doing. Even Drew Brees and Tom Brady and Jared Goff, great years, but they're not in the category that Patrick Mahomes is in offensively. Really, those are just the facts. I think the reason why you'll see some people in the national media pick the Colts is because they believe in Andrew Luck. They've probably studied some numbers like I just sort of regurgitated to you. And the other thing is Kansas City, they've got home field advantage and a loud crowd, all that stuff. But for whatever reason, they've had a hard time winning home playoff games. You got to go all the way back to before Patrick Mahomes was born to find a day where the Kansas City Chiefs won a home playoff game. The last time they did it, Joe Montana was their quarterback. So I think there's pressure. I remember as a quarterback when I was playing for Seattle, I think the Seahawks hadn't won a playoff game since 1984, and we were trying to do it in like 2005. And you just felt the pressure from all those, the former players, the legends of your team, your organization. Like, you feel the pressure of that. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes feels it because he seems like a cool cat, but I know that there's other people in that organization that certainly feel it. And so I think that's a great matchup. That'll be the first playoff game of the weekend. I think it's going to be a great one. Did you see the Pat Mahomes no-look video with Peter King thing? I did. I didn't listen to it, but I watched it. It was cool. I mean, I love watching Patrick Mahomes play. I love watching him throw. I'm a huge fan of no-look passes. They usually work. They don't always work, but they usually work. See, that's my thing. Like, Michael Dixon's getting a lot of credit for drop kicking, right? Australian guy. There's a lot of NFL guys, myself included, that can really drop kick well. Have never done it publicly, right? So it's just like the no-look pass thing, I think, for quarterbacks. Is that like a normal thing, or is Patrick Mahomes doing something that's very silly? No, so listen, I have a no-look pass in my repertoire, but I can't do it left. Wow. I can do it right. I mean, most guys will have it in their repertoire. Breaking it out in a game is a whole other thing, next level. Yep. Brett Favre has them. You have these throws, kind of like a trick shot you have with your sand wedge. You have one. Does it come up? Do you get the opportunity to use it? Do you have the courage to use it? He used it and hit a guy in stride. It was awesome. I've got a no-look pass where I can look at you, and then, if I'm looking at 12 o'clock, the ball comes out at like 2 or 3 o'clock. It's a pretty, I like that throw. The problem is it doesn't always work. I have another one that's not as good that I tried to use on Brian Urlacher one time. I no-looked him, but he wasn't looking at me. So I hit him between the 5 and the 4. And after the game, he comes up to me. He's like, dude, what were you thinking on that interception? I'm like, dude, I no-looked you. He's like, wow, I missed it. He threw it right
Yeah, I was no-looking you, too.
So you got to be careful. Doesn't always pan out.
Great analogy there, because I have the Phil Mickelson flop. Everybody who's ever golfed with me knows it. I bust that thing out, and it's a next level thing. Yeah.
Right, but that's a good point. Like, you bust it out, like when it's fun to bust it out. But if you got a birdie opportunity and money's on the line, are you busting it out? Like, maybe you are, but then are you making it happen? Like, did it work? And so I think that's what's impressive to me about the Patrick Mahomes no look. It wasn't like, hey, we're up by 21, this doesn't matter. It was a big game. Huge moment, and he busted it out, and it worked perfectly.
All right, you have to go soon. It's our fault. We showed up late for this. I mean, we had to go through your publicists, but we showed up late to this because of the weight loss challenge. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Patriots are going to win again? Is that what's going to happen?
You know what? There's a lot. I live in Boston. There's a lot of hate for the Patriots. There's a lot of like, we're only the 2 seed. You know, we barely got a bye.
Wow.
Like, the expectations are so high for that team. But this whole time, I'm saying to myself, like, they could be right back in this thing. You know, it could be the Patriots and the Saints, or the Patriots and the Rams, or who knows? It could be the Patriots and the Eagles again, the Nick Foles magic. I really think the Patriots, they struggled late. They got back on track with games against Buffalo and the Jets. Something happened where they just got away from James White. James White, the running back, is kind of my MVP of the Patriots this season. If Gronk can get healthy and they can not forget about James White, I think the Patriots have every opportunity to be back in the Super Bowl. But they got a tough Chargers team coming to town that's pretty complete themselves, and they have not lost a game away from LA this season. So, that's what's so fun about the playoffs. We get to find out anything can happen.
Is this Phillip Rivers' last run here? That's why they're all balling behind him?
No, I don't think it's his last run, but he's a consistent player. He's a very consistent player. I think Anthony Lynn's done a really nice job in that running game. Ken Wisenhunt's calling the plays offensively. Gus Bradley, who's a former defensive coordinator, former head coach, but former defensive coordinator when I was in Seattle. He's a real sound, defensive coordinator. Like, he's not a riverboat gambler like some of these guys, feast or famine. He's more mathematical. He's more calculated. He's less risky. He's a keep it in front of you guy. And so if you have the offense to go with that, he's a guy that can be really successul, and he's showing that.
Yeah, they had 7 DBs on the field, I guess, against
three safeties at linebacker.
Yeah. Good idea. Keep up with the speed of Lamar Jackson. So now the Lamar Jackson offense is beat. I mean, that's what happens. Defensive coordinators figure it out. Bang, it's over.
Well, you think about it, though, it's a decent point. The quarterbacks that are now out of the playoffs, you got Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Trubisky, Lamar, all great scramblers. You got guys that are still in that had a bye week that are more pocket passers. Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Jared Goff. Even you go back to the last 2 Super Bowls, you're talking about Foles and Brady, or Matt Ryan and Brady. Those guys, they probably couldn't beat, I don't know, my friends that I grew up with in a 40-yard dash. But those guys know how to play winning playoff football that gets you to a Super Bowl and wins you a Super Bowl. And so, I think it's great if you can make SportsCenter top 10 and all that with plays outside the pocket, but consistently throwing the ball on with rhythm from the pocket, accuracy, decision making, timing, those types of things. That's how you win a Super Bowl, and obviously guys like Tom Brady have proved that.
It's crazy to hear that, because you were such a mobile quarterback. You would think that you'd be going to bat for them. Thank you so much.
Like I told you, man, 2 for 2 on fire calls as a backup holder.
He sent me that text, by the way. He sent me that, and in your follow-up text to that was starting holders normally don't have a fire happen. You're the man. It's awesome watching you succeed. Good luck with all your other NFL conversation. I can't wait to meet up with you, hopefully down at the Super Bowl.
Hey, Pat, anytime my publicist says I can, I'm happy to come on.
Hang up on him, please. See you, man. He's a good dude, man.
He's really good.
Oh yeah, mask guy.
I'm being serious when I say his dad. He was like a ball boy for the Patriots when he was a kid, because his dad used to be in the Patriots organization somehow, some way. He was a good guy in our locker room, man. When he came in, he was a good guy in our locker room. He helped out a lot.